What is up, you guys? For today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how to get this vampy berry inspired look using the brand new Juvia's Place The Berries mini palette. And seriously, this palette is so cute. I cannot get over it. You guys have been requesting for me to review these ones, so I did pick up this palette as well as the Violets one. And if you'd like to see me use that one, let me know in the comments down below. But if you haven't seen the colors in here, like, look at that. It is so pretty. It's very vampy. It's very bright at the same time. Seriously, the colors in here are stunning. But if you'd like to see how I did this look using this palette as well as my thoughts and opinions about it, then just stay tuned on watching. But before we jump into it, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten, and I post a bunch more tutorials over on there if you're looking for more inspiration. So today we are going to be testing out the brand new Juvia's Place The Berries mini palette, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it! I mean, like, look at how pretty the packaging of it is. Like, it is such a gorgeous color. And I mean, like, the color story in here, like, girl, look at how pretty that is. Like, I just love the richness to it and just the overall depth. I mean, like, look at these matte berry shades right here, these deeper ones. Oh my gosh, like, they are seriously so pretty. You rarely ever see colors like that to an eyeshadow palette, so I cannot wait to try it. Though I will say, like, looking at this palette, I don't like that these shimmer shades right here are very close in tone. I wish that there was a lighter one in here, but nonetheless, I'm so excited to try it out with you guys today. So before we jump into using the palette, we gotta prime our eyelids first, and today I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer, and as you can see, your girl got a new tube of it. So once you primed your eyelids, now we can jump into using the palette, and today I want to do something a little bit different, a little spicy, maybe like a different technique and maybe a different shape. That's kind of like how I'm feeling right now. I actually searched on YouTube earlier to see what other people have been doing with this palette, and honestly it seems like everything's kind of the same, where you do the shimmer on the lid with the rest in the crease, and I don't know, I just kind of want to mix it up a little bit. So the first shade that we are going to be going in with is this really pretty rose shade right here. So the first thing that I want to do is actually do an outline of the shape that we're going to be doing today, just so we have an idea of where to go and like how to execute it. But what I'm going to do is take that rose shade on this angle liner brush from Morphe out of their holiday set. And then with this shade, I'm going to be using it kind of like we're doing a winged liner. And if you're new to doing a winged liner, what I recommend is taking another brush and going from your nose to the outer corner of your lid and then just drawing a line right here. And this will help give you like a little bit of a guideline, and then you can fix it up later. So once you have that wing going on, now we are going to be doing the next step. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit more shadow again on that same liner brush. And I'm going to look forward and kind of tilt my head because I do have hooded eyes. And then I'm going to make like a little line right here. Kind of where we would cut our crease. And then as you can see, we have just like a little hint right there going on. And then now taking more shadow, I'm just going to use that as my guideline to help me kind of cut my crease with this color. And I'm just following it kind of like the natural curve of my lid. So essentially what you're doing is you're cutting your crease with this shadow right now just to give us a guideline of what we're going to be doing later. And then I'm just going to tie everything together. And if it's not looking perfect right now, do not stress about it. Like, trust me, this will be all blended out later and we'll have to recut it. But it's just kind of there to give you a good rough outline of what we're going to be doing and like how we're going to be placing our colors. So once you have your outline done, I gotta say though, I'm really vibing with the shape, but now we are going to start deepening things up, and the shade that we are going to be going in with is the deepest one in the palette. And then using this flat shader brush, the vertical way out of the Morphe holiday set, I'm going to be deepening up this line. And what I'm doing is really like packing it on as well, because we really want to get as much pigmentation on that as we can. Girl, when I tell you to trust the process, I mean trust the process. Like, trust me, this is gonna look real crazy until it looks better at the end. But I will say, like, after using this shade, it is a little bit uneven on the eye. I don't know if you can kind of see it, like, right in here. Like, it just looks a little chunky, and it just looks a little uneven. But I will say the pigmentation is definitely there. So once you have that applied, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is seriously so stunning, and that is this beautiful hot pink shade. And then using this little Morphe blending brush, again out of their holiday set, I'm going to be blending this right on top of that deeper shade that we just used. And I'm just blending it upwards. And I'm not going too far with this either, I just want like a little pop of pink. And then make sure when you're doing this that you do the outer V as well, because we are going to be smoking this out too. So after applying that hot pink, as you can see, we have some harsh lines going on, which we do not want. So what we're going to do is start blending those out using that really pretty rose shade that we used earlier. So using this BH Cosmetics No. 4 brush from the Zodiac eye set, I'm going to be doing these little circular motions to buff that out and just get rid of all of these harsh lines. So if you're still struggling with blending out those edges, what I recommend doing is taking a little bit of a skin tone colored eyeshadow on a small little flat shader brush. Today I'm going to be using an Anastasia A13. And what I'm going to do is take this right underneath my brow, first initial application, and then I'm going to start dragging it downwards and doing these little circular motions right over that harsh line. And to help me even get better of a blend, what I'm going to do is take whatever is left on that brush that we applied the rose shade, and then just lightly do these little blending motions right between the two colors again. This will just help to get a really nice gradient. I am seriously having so much fun doing this different technique today. Normally when I apply my shadows, I always go light to dark, but sometimes, you know what, it's just really fun to experiment and just try new things and just different styles. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like if you're doing like makeup or just art in general, and if you keep on doing the exact same thing, are you really growing as an artist? Because at least in my opinion, I feel like sometimes when I get into that rut that I'm always doing the exact same thing, the exact same techniques, I get really bored with it and I feel like I'm just not growing as an artist. So I definitely do recommend, you know, trying new things, experimenting, playing around. It's seriously so much fun to do so. Anywho, so now we're going to cut the crease, and today I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. So when I do my cut crease, what I like to do is look forward. I don't like tilt my head, I just look dead, like straight. And what I do is take my brush, and then I just make a line right above where my eyelid crease is. And that's as high as I want to go with it. And then afterwards, I start filling it in. And then I just start connecting the lines. So when I'm doing this, what I like to do is really follow my natural eye shape. So when I'm doing this curve, I'm following like my lid. I'm just going up a little bit. You see what I mean? Like when I look forward, you can see that I kind of like essentially created the cut crease in the exact same shape as my lid. I just went up a little bit since I do have hooded eyes. So once you cut your crease like that, now we're going to start working on the winged portion. And what I'm going to do is take a little bit of that primer on this Sigma E11 brush. And then when doing this, I'm just going to make a line as if I am doing a winged liner. Kind of following that shape that we have going on right now. And then afterwards, I'm just going to connect it and then fill it in. So here's where I'm at right now after cutting the crease and the base is 100% dry. And as you can see from the colors in this palette, there isn't really one that we could add right now where it wouldn't take away this beautiful definition that we have going on. So I'm actually going to go in with another palette, and I know people are not going to like that. But you could also set this with a skin tone colored eyeshadow, a white eyeshadow out of your collection. But I'm actually going to be going in with my Masquerade palette from Juvia's. I haven't used this one in a hot minute, but the shade that we are going to be going in with is my all-time favorite out of this palette, and that's called Makita. And then using a damp and flat shader brush, I'm going to be packing Makita anywhere that that base is showing. I am so in love with this cut crease shape right now. Like, I wish I would have done it sooner. I've never done anything like it before. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've done something very similar, like with the outer portion, but I did the inner portion completely different. And if you'd like to see that, I'll have it linked in the description box down below for you. It's such a cool look. I did a tutorial over on Instagram doing that. But man, like, this is such a cool and just interesting shape. I definitely recommend trying it out if you haven't before. But nonetheless, off camera, I'm just going to kind of clean things up a little bit as well as apply my complexion products, and then I'll be right back. So here's where I'm at right now after applying my complexion products, and let me tell you, I am so obsessed with this lipstick right now, like hands down. It looks so cool. And at first, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in with Dusty Rose from Anastasia since it is my all-time favorite lipstick. But then I stood there for a second, I'm like, you know what, today we are trying new things, so I'm gonna go in with the dark purple to match the eye look. And I found this one in my collection from Lime Crime in the shade Scandal, and oh my gosh, like, this lipstick is so nice. I haven't used it in a real hot minute, but the formula is immaculate. Like, it is super thin in consistency. It doesn't feel thick or heavy on the lips. It isn't drying, and also this is only 2 layers of application, which is insane for this type of color. But nonetheless, now we're going to start working on the lower lash line, and I just cannot wait to see the full unfinished look. So first things first, we are going to be lining our waterline using the ColourPop Gel Liner Pencil in the shade Charmer, which is a really pretty deep in raspberry. And then I'm just going to look upwards and then start smoking this downward with the liner. So before that liner sets in place, now we are going to be smoking it downwards, and we're going to be going in with this really pretty deep in burgundy shade. And then using this Morphe M507 brush, I'm just going to be doing a back and forth motion. And when you're doing this, you do not want to bring it down too far since we do not want to look like a panda bear. We just want like a little hint of burgundy right underneath the lower lash line. So once you smoked out that lower lash line and got it all nice and smoky, now we can do the best part, at least in my opinion, which is the inner corner highlight. And today we are going to be using the highlighter that I used today, and that is from ColourPop in the shade You're a Catch. Like, look at how big this highlighter is though. Like, it is so massive. It is literally about the size of my head. You could also use Makita, but I just want something a little bit different than what we used on the lid. Then using this smoky eye brush from Moda Cosmetics, I'm going to be packing the shit out of this into my inner corner. And I'm also bringing it underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. And my brush is dampened also, but man, like, that is so pretty. I love this highlighter so much. It is definitely one of my new favorites. But yeah, so here's the finish, like, using the Juvia's Place the Berries mini palette, and oh my gosh, literally, I am so happy with how this look turned out. Like, this is probably in my top 5 all-time favorite looks I have ever done. Like, I love it that much. I love that it's very, like, vampy, yet it kind of has, like, that smoky aspect to it with just a slight smidge of brightness, which I just think is so beautiful. But nonetheless, I do want to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about this palette. So now let's talk about the formula, and the formula of these eyeshadows is very similar to all of the other Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. So the colors in here are very pigmented, and also they just have a really beautiful richness to them. I will say only one shadow gave me any problems today, and that was this first deeper shade that we used. It was just a little uneven on the eye when I was blending it out and working with it. Overall, I was able to blend it out where I wanted it to be. It just took a little bit more time to do so, though I will say this shadow is very pigmented. The other shadows that we used, you know, like the deepened burgundy underneath the lower lash line, the rose shade, and the hot pink are seriously so good. They're super pigmented and very easy to blend out. I'm truly impressed with this deepened burgundy shade that we used on the lower lash line. It's just so smooth looking, and I just had such an easy blend with it. Normally those types of shadows are really tricky for me to use, but that one was extremely nice. So since we didn't use the shimmers today, I can't vouch for how they work, though I will say, like, looking at them in the pan, they are very similar with their tones. I mean, you look at it, there isn't much of a difference. And I also wish that this palette would have a lighter shimmery pink shade, you know, something that you could use in the inner corner for a highlight, or also just underneath the brow bone or on the lid. I feel like it would give this palette a little bit more versatility and also just give it a little bit extra pizzazz. So when it comes down to it, would I recommend the Juvia's Place the Berries mini palette to you guys? And seriously, I absolutely adore this palette, and I definitely recommend it to you. I feel like the colors in this palette are very unique and just colors you don't find all that much, and overall, it's such a cute little palette that is very affordable. I will say though that deeper matte shade did give me a little bit of a problem blending out, but other than that, the other shadows that we used are seriously super pigmented and very easy to work with. One thing I do want to mention though is that since some of the colors in here have very similar tones, you know, like the 2 shimmery shades and then the 2 deeper ones, I feel like you're not going to be able to get a ton of different types of looks using this palette alone, and you'll have to use it with another palette. Just because, I mean, if you're going to do like darker colors in the crease and then you're going to do a shimmer on the lid, chances are they're going to look relatively similar. And I don't know, I just feel like that is kind of the downfall of this palette. That's why I wish that there was a lighter shimmery shade in here. But again, for the price point, and if you're into these types of colors, I still feel like it's definitely worth checking out. I also want to show you guys some swatches of this palette, though keep in mind there isn't any color names to these, so I just went left to right on the top row first and then left to right on the bottom row. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you're going to be picking up any of the mini palettes, or if you already did. I would love to hear what you guys think about them as well. But as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!